YouTube world, Pretend Farmer here. Not a real farmer, just pretending. In this episode, we're going to talk about how to know you've got happy chickens and turkeys. Even if you're just raising birds for meat and you're going to kill them and eat them, you want to make sure they got a good quality of life and that they're happy while they're around. I'm going to give you some pointers for that, and I'm also going to tell you what to look for so that you can know your feathered creatures are taken care of. Let's get into it. The most important thing probably is making sure everything is clean. Even if you're doing the deep litter method where you're not cleaning your coop out super regular, you need to make sure it's never smelling like ammonia in there, that it's never getting nasty, that there's not mites hanging out in your coop. You don't want rats, mice, anything like that making little nests in there. They'll actually nibble on the chicken's toes while they're on the roost. We need to make sure their coop conditions and their run conditions are well cared for. Might not always be clean, there's always going to be poop. It should be well kept up. Some fresh bedding in the coop really goes a long way.
Sometimes eggs will get broke in the nest boxes, so make sure if that happens you're cleaning them out, because that can make a real nasty mess and it keeps getting worse.
Obviously, just make sure they always have access to food and water. They have to have a good dust bath spot. And it doesn't hurt to throw some lime down, mix it in their dust bath or diatomaceous earth. But we use lime in our chicken run. It helps to neutralize odors. It cuts down on flies. Just really does some good things in the summertime. We don't use it in the winter. But in the summertime, whenever you have the poop out there and the heat's baking it and you got the flies that come around, good thing to use lime in their run. Keeps things smelling better, keeps it cleaner for them. Also, for those monstrous rainstorms you get in the summertime where everything turns to muck, if you throw lime down after that, it'll help harden the ground back up. And a hard, dry ground is better for their feet. Chickens that are constantly walking around in soupy mud, they're much more prone to getting bumblefoot.
A chicken's plumage or feathers is a really good indicator of how healthy they are. Chickens molt, but aside from that, they should look good. A bright red comb is a sign of a healthy chicken, and if it turns pale, your chicken is probably sick.
You can also tell if your chickens are healthy just by observing their behavior. Healthy chickens will lay lots of eggs. Now, I didn't collect all these today, but this is over the last couple of days. If your hens are ill, they're going to stop laying eggs. And this doesn't include in the fall and the winter when they throttle back due to cold weather. That happens to everybody. It's normal part of the chicken's egg laying cycle. But if it's the middle of spring or summer and your chickens just kind of, say you've got 10 chickens that are a year old and you're getting 2-3 eggs a day, majority of your flock is not laying and something's wrong. And this could be worms, it could be a number of things, it could be their diet. You really need to look into that. Also observe their stool. When a chicken poops, you shouldn't be able to see a lot of worms squirming around in it. If you see worms, you need to deworm your chickens. If a chicken has really milky or watery looking poop, that's usually a sign they're maybe dehydrated or not feeling well. When a chicken isolates itself and doesn't associate with the rest of the flock, it just wants to lay around, you need to separate that chicken from the rest of your flock and give it some water with electrolytes in it. It may come back around. It's been our experience that when that happens, usually you'll find that chicken dead after a couple days. And if it's something contagious, you don't want it being around the rest of your flock. Make sure you throw that chicken in a fire pit and burn it, or do something to discard of it so that nothing else can get into it. Good biosecurity practices. If you see your chickens limping around or struggling to walk, you need to check their feet. Make sure they don't have any cuts or bumblefoot or anything like that. All these are simple things you can do to make sure your chicken's quality of life is at the top of the ladder. Another sign you've got happy animals is if they follow you around everywhere. And you know, the big thing with chickens and or turkeys is they're flock animals. They are designed to interact and socialize with other birds and animals. They do much better when they're together. You never would want to buy one chicken or have one rooster or one turkey. If you're going to do that, then you need to give them attention daily, because they're going to be craving that attention. It's not just about getting eggs either. You need to look at the quality of your eggs. Eggs that have a really thin shell where they almost crack as soon as you pick them up and just lightly squeeze on them, that's a sign of a calcium deficiency in your hens. You need to give them some oyster shells or give them better quality feed. All these little subtle things that you need to constantly be aware of and observing while you're out there tending to your chickens to make sure that you're giving them the right diet, that they're not sick, that they're healthy, happy, and they're living their best life. You listen to the Pretend Farmer, you'll have happy, healthy chickens, and happy chickens lay more eggs.